All right. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Maybe I'll get it right. Let's see. All right, good deal. Sorry. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about some marketing stuff. I know that's something that everyone kind of talks about pretty often in the group, like how do I sell my products? How do I sell my services? And what I noticed is that in a lot of these classes that we take, there's not really a lot of information about the marketing aspect of our businesses. Which is okay. That's not always what they're teaching us, right? Like when I look at the class syllabus, that's not really a part of it. Although I feel like marketing is one of the most important pieces of our online marketing. And even in person too, like we can apply some of these. I put online marketing practices just because we do hang out in this online space together in my group and on Facebook. And so I put online marketing, but a lot of this can also be implemented in your in-person marketing or your affiliate marketing. So don't take it as like, this is only for Facebook. Okay. But there are 7 essential sales psychology methods that will transform your marketing efforts. And I see and notice that a lot of you already do some of this. However, something that I also noticed is that we try them all instead of trying the one and like sticking with it to see if that's what our audience responds to. So over the course of this presentation today, just kind of take it all in and see like which one you remember getting the most reactions to, shares, leads, and maybe revisit that method for a while to see if that is like your method. Like that's how you reach your audience, okay? So the first one is emotional marketing. This meets consumers or your clients' leads on a personal level. It focuses on the tone, lighting, and mood. This can be like in your visuals. It can be in when you go live. It can be in like your copy, like if you're writing like a couple paragraphs, that tone and mood kind of show through there. And then of course, like your lighting and stuff on your actual visuals, they improve the conversions and bring about brand loyalty. So your tone can be a big part and your mood can be a big part of your success. Consumers or leads, your clients, they base their buying choices around feelings and emotions, not practicality. They don't want to know about, they want to know, but they're not going to make their buying decision off of features and function of your product. They're going to respond to the emotional part of what you're selling. So a lot of times when we're selling like our credit repair service, they don't want to know like that we're they need to know, but they don't want to know that you're going through a dispute process, that you're writing letters, that this is, there's certain methods, there are certain laws. They don't want to know about all that. They might need to know about it, but that's not what they're going to buy into. They're going to buy into the new car that they're not going to have 18% interest rate on. They're going to buy into the new home. They're going to buy into freedom for their children. They're going to buy into the freedom of their money. Okay. They're going to be more loyal to your brand. Even if they never buy your product, they're going to be more loyal to your company and to your brand because they remember that emotion and they may share your posts or share your company with their family or friends because you made them feel good and you made your offer, what you're selling, make them feel good. So knowing this, you should create or post content that inspires, excites, and is interesting. It should bring about a feeling of nostalgia, and it should bring about reactions, engagement, and produce conversations. So a lot of times I'm seeing this in your guys' new or my news feed on your feed, where we're sharing, oh, my client just got this new car. My client just got, approved for this or approved for that. That's like really exciting. And I don't know about you guys, but do you notice more engagement when you're showing that, like that positive, happy energy? For me, I do. So just kind of think about that. Some of your guys' copy talks about, I remember back 10 years ago when I couldn't even get approved for my own apartment. I had to have a co-signer for everything. And, then that takes them back to that place where they're like, man, yeah, I had to get a co-signer. But today I can go get whatever I want because my credit is right. So, and especially like when you're going live, like that happy, positive energy, they're going to like it. They're going to love it. They're going to want to share it. When you say, hey, please share this post. Oh my gosh. Woo, you're like really excited. They're going to go, oh yeah, I got to share this with everybody. Like, she's awesome. She's excited. She knows what she's talking about. So that's that emotional marketing. The next thing is social proof. And this is something else we do a lot, and it goes along with the emotional in a lot of cases. So some of these kind of overlap a little bit. When I say choose one, there will be some overlap, but the social proof is like your testimonials and like when other people like share their review on your page, like you don't even necessarily ask for it. Like they just do it because they're so excited about what you did for them. So it's like one of the most vital methods. And this one can be overlapped with most of them. And it really is, it influences other people because we love to mimic others, imitate others. We take on their beliefs, or we see what is working or what isn't, and we like try to imitate what is working. We do it even, at the grocery store. I'll find myself, I'll see somebody squeezing a tomato to see if it's, too soft. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably check and see if it's too soft. Like something so easy, so simple, like I'm easily influenced by that person who's like checking to see if the avocado is ripe, looking at the bag of salad on the other side to make sure it's not rotten on the other side, right? So we are influenced by people every day without even really knowing that we are. When you're developing that like, no trust, you get those customers or those leads that they really like you, they know you, they trust you, and now they're excited and they share their testimonials. It could be as simple as, I had a great consultation and never even bought into our services, but that consultation was amazing. It can be as easy as that DIY kit that he sold me got like 60% of my medical bills wiped out first round. Oh my gosh, this guy's the truth. Okay. So knowing this, you should create and post content that includes those testimonials or reviews. And also, like, those posts need to inspire people to want to share the good news with everyone, because that sharing is what's going to get, the other people to go, oh, if they like this person, if they had a good experience with this company, yeah, I want to find out about that. And it also uses call to actions or CTAs, such as like or share this post. A lot of times I noticed in like my own marketing efforts, like I never really have call to action in my like day-to-day posting. My call to action a lot of times, like if I have like a new content that I post or like a new offer, I'll encourage you guys like, hey, click the preview here. Hey, this is the checkout link, so those call to actions, like most people go look at the preview. They want to know what I'm producing, like what it is they're buying. So call to actions are really important. And now that when somebody goes and sees my YouTube channel and they see that something was viewed 300 times, they're like, oh yeah, I want to know about that one too. So they're already on my YouTube channel, looking at that one video, but now like they see I have all these other videos and there's lots of views on the other ones. So they want to go check out those ones too. Okay. Yes, I always forget a call to action as well. That's like something I kind of struggle with. And if you have a call to action, like you need to have the next step done. Like you have that call to like visit my website. Well, is your website user friendly? Like, can they find what they're looking for when they get there? So like, it is a little bit more complex. You can have a call to action like this or share this, and like it can all just stay like on social media. But if you're trying to inspire someone to sign up for your services, put the exact link that's going to link them like directly to your sign up form. Like nobody wants to fuss around on your website for 5 minutes trying to find the sign up. And even though they need to see all that other important information on other pages in on your page, hopefully you're already educating them enough that they don't have a lot of questions and they are ready to go sign up. So lead them exactly where you want them to go, to a funnel, to an email, to your sign up page, to your checkout, whatever the case is. Have that call to action ready, and not just like and share this, even though those are really good call to actions and it may be all you need them to do for certain posts. We're trying to convert them over to that sale and to that buying into your services. Okay. So social proof is really important. And the more shares your video gets, like the more shares people will want to share, or more shares your post gets. You know, that's how people go viral. Like they see it shared 180 times and they're like, oh yeah, me too, you know? So just make sure it's like good, you know, enough that people want to share it. The next method is grounded cognition. So this theory explains that stories are experienced through reading, watching, or hearing them as though it is happening to them. This theory also explains that people forget facts and figures. Pardon my typo. Your message will be best told in story form. A lot of us are doing this already. I notice a lot of storytelling. That is one of the, I don't know, like personally, I notice like I get a lot of engagement and a lot of reactions when I tell a story, because we really like to know, you know, about other people and what they've been through, what they're going through, what their highs are, what their lows are. You know, you want to know like that journey, the path that they're on and the path that they came from. And so you can tell a story. A lot of us, me personally, like I started off in credit repair because I had bad credit. And so a lot of times we're telling that story. We're telling that story about how we navigated that time in our lives and what helped and what didn't. And we tell it to them as though it's happening to them. You know, you can remember that time you went to the dealership and you got approved, but there was a $5,000 down payment that you needed to pay. Like that didn't feel very good, right? Like when you went to the dealership, like that sucked. You know, that it's telling that story as though it's happening to them, right? Like, remember that time I had the same thing happen. I went to the dealership. They told me an 18% interest rate and $5,000 is my down payment. And I was just blown away. Like, I don't know if you remember a time like that in your life, but I remember a time like that in my life and it sucked. It was horrible. I felt pretty down, but I went ahead, I got my credit fixed, and now I have a single digit interest rate, a lower payment, and I didn't have to put anything down on that car. And man, let me tell you, that freedom I felt driving off that car lot. Man, it was like a serious high for me. Don't you want to feel that high too? Tell that story. Connect those dots, that little piece in the back of their mind where they're like, man, I wish I could do what she's doing. You can explain to them how you can. You know where they've been, you know where they're going. And so even though sometimes we're hitting those pain points, you know, we still have to approach them knowing this. You should create posts or content that speaks to your audience in a friendly way. Like, hey, I remember, like I've been there, you know, tell them a story they can empathize with. Like pull out their story from yours. And share that personal moment. Okay. All right. The next one is paradox of choice. This is something, I struggle. So giving people choices can impact your marketing in a positive way. People love choices. They think, though, that they want a lot of choices, but in actual reality, we should not give people too many choices. It leads to indecision and nervousness. Right now, that's something I struggle with a little bit because I have so many offerings for my clients right now. In my niche, in my field, and what I'm doing, it can be a good thing because not everybody wants to do the exact same thing. Not everybody's marketing wants to look the same or what have you. But a lot of times people come to my inbox or they email me like, what should I get first? There's so much to choose from, right? And so sometimes when we are offering people, a consultation and the DIY, I've got 6 different books. I've got this, I've got that. I can meet up in person, or I can do the phone, I can do Zoom, all these, it gets overwhelming. And it leads people to get nervous and they're like, oh, I don't know what to choose. I don't know which one's best for me. You tell me, and then you tell them like what you think maybe is the best thing for them. And then they're like, oh, I still don't know. So if you provide a limited range of choices, it reduces that anxiety and it will result in better marketing results. So a lot of times I'll push like one product, one service, and then not really bring it up again for a while. Even though it's there, it's available, I don't really talk about it too much. Like I stick with just a couple of things that I do really great, and these are what I have to offer for you. I have a consultation or I have a DIY kit, period. That consultation is done by phone, period, right? Now they know, okay, I'm going to get on the phone and have this consultation, or I'm going to go check out in the store. And when I get to the store, I'm just going to see this one product because I'm just sending them the link to this one product. Okay. So knowing this, your content, your posts should emphasize a few key points at a time. So if you're trying to tell them everything there is to know about credit repair, I would not suggest that. Tell them a few things that they should know, instead of overwhelming people with the entire FCRA all at one time. Pull out a couple of key points that are going to benefit them and in a language that they can understand the very best, so that they can, feel like that they'll feel incited to like do something about it because now they've got that information. And then provide clear call to action. So again, we kind of go back to when you are giving them a call to action, share this post, period. Check out on my website, here's the link, period, right? Like very clear, concise, here's the link to book a call. And only give your customers 2 clear paths to follow at a time. Now, there might be more than one offer within one path. Like if you have a DIY guide, but they really only need bankruptcy removal, like you can send them the store site, or you can send them your, consultation link if they want to do it themselves. When they get to your store, they're going to go to the bankruptcy guide, but they might have other products that they can now see. And that's okay, because now they've already decided, I want to do the DIY option, and they know exactly how to get there. So just kind of keep that in mind, that if there's still just kind of 2 clear options. Also, if you're doing like just Facebook, like your call to action is not to book a consultation, like this post for this, or share this post for that. Like if you learn something new today, hit that like button. If you want your friends to know, everything that you just learned, if you think your friends need help with the information shared within this live video, share this post. Okay. So just kind of 2 options. When you try to tell them, oh, comment here, like, share, comment, like those kind of, like I avoid posts like that. Like I don't want to have to do 6 things to be entered into this contest. And most of the time I don't participate. I don't know if your guys' experience is the same, but that's definitely the case for me. I don't want to like, share, comment, invite 3 friends. Like, let me just share it. Okay. The next one is information gap theory. So whenever we have like a strong emotional response, when you notice like a gap between what you know and what you want to know, it kind of creates this curiosity and we try to go find out the information. So we're presented with something that you kind of know a little bit about, like that, like a headline will catch your attention. Seven things you need to know about marketing, right? And you're like, well, I know like 3. I wonder what the other 4 are. Click. I want to read this article. I want to, if you see articles pop up on your newsfeed, I do all the time. I also tell you guys, I'm a sucker for Facebook ads and Instagram ads, like all the time. Like they get me every time, but also articles get me all the time, or information, or somebody will say, I'm going live to tell you the 3 best ways to get medical collections deleted from your credit report. And I'm like, oh, I only know of 1 way. I'm probably going to go hop on that live because I'm like, I need to know the other 2 ways, right? Like there's a gap in my learning and I can find out that information because I'm following you and I know that you're going to give me the best information. So now it like fulfills that need for getting that knowledge. I'm going to show up. I might not interact or engage, but like, you've got like 17 people on your live, but only 2 people comment. That's okay. You've still got 17 people to fulfill that little gap in their knowledge. Okay. So knowing this, you should create posts or content that give them just enough to keep them wanting more. Use powerful headlines that make them want to click, and give info that's maybe not readily available by Google that would like take some digging around. So just like I said, like 3 ways to remove medical collections from your credit report. Like most people are going to be like, they kind of know something about it because they've Googled trying to fix their own credit. But now you can go into step by step what you're going to do to remove those medical collections from their credit report. And now they've kind of had their curiosity quenched. They still don't know how to do it, but they know now that it can be done, and they now know that you can do it, right? I am not very good at this method because I'm just kind of like, I just put all the information out there all the time. Like I'm just like, here you go. You can have it all. You can see everything. I have like full previews of all my stuff. Like there's no like, so this method can be a little bit tricky. If you have like a blog or like a newsletter or something like that, this is like a good way to do like your headlines or like email subjects. You can freshen them up a little bit. Like if you know what your content says for like your email campaign, it's like 7 ways to do whatever, 101 ways to improve your credit score, something like that. You can put that in your email, but like make sure that headline, 20 ways to improve your credit score. What's the other 81? You know what I mean? So like get that catchy phrase, that catchy headline, post, I'm going live about such and such, but like, don't break it all down before you ever even get on the live, but you need to like make them interested. So you have to tell them a little bit of something, right? Like you kind of have to tell them what you're going to talk about, but you don't want to spill the beans because you want them to like show up and be on that live. So you can give them a call to action, sharing the post, liking the post, booking a consultation. Hey, if you learned something new today, put it in the comments. Those comments will, boost your engagement. Your live video is going to be seen by more people that way. So leave them wanting more at first, but then fill in that learning gap. And you're going to develop more of that like, know, trust, as well as that curiosity. While you're looking like the expert, they're going to go, oh, I know that she can fix this. Like now at the Thanksgiving dinner, when everybody's at the table discussing everything you shouldn't talk about, politics, money, religion, you talk about money and you're like, oh yeah, my friend so-and-so knows how to fix credit. And I just learned something new. And hey, you should go check out our page. Like it's really cool, right? That's our hope. Everyone's talking about us at the dinner table. All right. So the commitment and consistency theory is next. This is when you ask your customers or clients to buy into a small offer. Most of us have something like this in place. And if we don't, we talk about it all the time, like how our automations may or may not be set up. But we ask them to buy into something small, like a free newsletter, a free ebook, a free lead magnet, and in hopes that they're going to buy into a bigger offer later, because we're going to nurture them into that bigger or better sale. So that's that little bit of commitment, develop some reciprocity, so that like they feel like they owe you something, like you give them something and then they feel like they kind of owe you something because you've been taking good care of them this entire time. You've been giving them all this good information in your email campaigns, and now they feel like they need to like give back to you. So knowing this, you should create posts or content that ask your clients for their email and phone number, and then not just asking them for it, but then nurturing them afterward, using that method to keep in touch with them. You should invite them to subscribe to a newsletter, share your ask them to share your content on social media, and invite them to sign up for like your ebook or like a free webinar, because then you're going to capture their email and be able to continuously nurture that lead. Who here has email campaigns set up? You can just leave it in the chat. And do your email campaigns do this? Do they, when they buy in with something small, does it encourage them? Are your headlines good? Does it encourage them to buy in later? Sorry, excuse me. All right. And then, let's see. Yes, I need to work on catchy headlines too. I'm not good at that. That's why I left that email list. We do have catchy email headlines. I put a PDF in the group so you guys can take a look at that and try to use some of them. So I did provide that. You'll have to search for it. I think I put like email headline freebie maybe, so you guys can search and see what that is. Yeah. Okay. Loss aversion theory is the last one. And this refers to how people avoid losing. A lot of times we see this when, like, say somebody's tried to fix their credit on their own, or they got scammed by somebody who previously said they could fix their credit and nothing ever happened. They lost all this money, they lost time. Now, like, they've got this really bad feeling about credit repair. They've got a bad feeling about credit repair company owners. They're just like, oh, I don't even know. Like, now that feeling is like more powerful than any good feeling that they felt. Even if like one thing got deleted, from their credit report the first time they tried, that one thing like doesn't matter, because now their bad feelings, they're trying to avoid feeling that way again. So they're really hesitant to buy into your service. Like, we've all seen it, we've all heard it, where people don't really follow through, especially like I don't know, I've heard some bad things about some of these bigger companies like Lexington Law, for example, like they'll get results the first month and then never again, right? So it's hard to recapture somebody into that good feeling. So you have to use the theory to your advantage. So you have to like analyze your audience, you have to learn their fears, and then create content that emphasizes the benefit of your brand that eases those fears. It takes longer then to do the like, know, and trust, because you're kind of starting from that bad feeling, which is like twice as powerful as any good feeling you're going to give them along the way. So a lot of times we can use keyword search tools that help better understand what questions people are asking. So Google Keyword Planner and the Keyword Explorer, those are two options if you guys want to check those out. It like will show you what people are searching for. There's a couple more. I couldn't find them easily. I've been told about them before, but I'm going to try to find them and like include it in the replay. I'm going to include like the link to them in the replay, but it's like a forum that shows what people are talking about. So you can start kind of talking to those fears in your positive way. And you might have to do that double time, because it's twice as powerful, that negative feeling that we're trying to overcompensate for. And then, kind of get us out of that negative frame of mind and have that mind shift change. And it doesn't just have to be like because somebody got scammed, like just say, like they're feeling really down about getting, having to have a cosigner on their car loan, and they just don't see any way out. Like they don't see any way that your service could possibly help them because they've just been in this low place for so long. Like they've had bad credit most of their adult life, and they just don't understand how you could possibly understand it, how you could possibly help them. What ways can we research the, what our customers' fears are so that we can emphasize the benefits of our company and what we do to ease those fears. So knowing this, you should create and post content that's well researched and answers questions people have. It addresses your audience concerns and offers a solution. So every time we talk about something negative, we always try to add empathy back into our message because we don't want to just leave people feeling bad. We want to bring them back up with us, right? And then give them a quick win to make them feel good. So if, for example, you've got a lot of people in your audience that are following you because you are the DIY like guru, like DIY inside and out, and you would really like them to sign up for your plan, but you're like, hey, here's an actionable step you can take. Here's my inquiry removal guide. If you can get these inquiries removed, that'll give you that quick little 20, 30 point boost. And then when you're ready, sign up for my services and I'll do the rest. Give them that quick win. Now you've got a freebie. You've opted them into your email list because now they've given you your email, the email in exchange for your freebie. They've given that quick win. Now they feel good. They've got an actionable step. They've got a way to like do this. They go do that actionable step because you made them feel so good and so warm, and happy using some of these other methods that now they go and they get that quick win and they're like, man, she's the truth. Like he knows his stuff, right? And then now you've kind of replaced some of those fears. You've replaced some of those things that they were worried about by buying into your service, and they come back and they're like, man, I'm ready. Let's go. Okay. So your quick win can look like many different things. It might even just be, hey, today I'm giving free consultations. Normally they're $50. Today they're free. Dial in, send me a text. I'll get you on my schedule. That's that quick win, makes them feel good. Because now they're like, man, I don't know if I want to spend $50. That's like one of their kind of questions that they have. They're like, oh, I don't know, $50 is kind of or $25. That's what my lunch is for the week. My eating out. So you can kind of give them that good feeling, right? And now they don't really feel it as a loss. That $25 is a loss if they don't sign up for your services. And it can give them that quick win that'll make them, maybe later buy in a little bit further. So what marketing plan works best for you? Have you heard of any of these theories before? What do you plan to implement first? How do you think this will help your marketing efforts? Let's discuss. What do y'all think?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Ebony.
So, first question I wrote down. So in the information gap, step 5, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm really informative, and that's really where I like to kind of be at. But I have a really hard time maintaining that polite thing when people just keep trying to siphon information in the thread where you post it. How do you politely handle that?
That's a good question. I think that can be hard for sure. You're definitely right.
It's so hard for me. I'm like, I so politely want to go, just show up to the Zoom. Just show up to the Zoom. I'm like, how many ways and politely can I say that?
Well, I mean, I think that's exactly what you need to do. Like, hey, I'm really excited that you're so eager to learn this information. I am I cannot wait to share everything I know with you. Hop on the Zoom. They persist. They ask the question again, and you're like, hey, I promise I'm going to answer every question you have. Hop on the Zoom. At a certain point, they may not be your target audience. They may not be your people, and you just have to kind of leave them behind. You can't take everybody with you. But if you're like, hey, I'm so glad you're so interested. Let's do this. Hop on this Zoom. Keep that happy, bubbly, I got you. I promise I'm going to answer everything you want to know. Actually, what's even better, go ahead and leave your comments and I'll be sure to answer them on the Zoom. So get in there.
I like that one. I'm going to use that because people always comment on the threads and I'm always like, oh my God, just come into the Zoom. Because like you said, you give too much away, then they don't want to come into the Zoom.
Yeah, then they never buy in. You don't get that little bit of commitment from them, which is, very important in the nurturing process.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how are you? It's
Shirley.
So I think I got here on enough time. I logged in at like 2:04, 2:05, but I just got presented with an opportunity where leads will just be like funneled to me now. I'm a full-time realtor. And I felt like I needed to come to this Zoom today specifically to like manage the marketing piece of it. And your suggestion, like right now, the only product that I have from you is the welcome packet, which is doing awesome. I just don't know where to start. Like I know I need to do a Black Friday sale. Or a flyer, but I don't know where to start with all of the leads that are coming. I don't know where to funnel them. I have some automation going where I'm able to keep up, but I want to be able to utilize your products in a way where I'm successful, and I'm overwhelmed.
I completely understand. And honestly, I tell people this all the time, like my products are not going to make or break what you're doing and your program. You do not have to have any of what I offer to be successful. So don't stress about that part of it. I think one of the most important pieces is your like automations, like making sure that like you have your email campaign set up, and that you're like keeping in touch with people. That's like really important. Now, if you're like, especially because you're having leads funneled to you, and you're not really like searching for leads, like most of us, I feel like in the group, like we're looking for more business, and like the products that I offer, like they help get our name out there. They help, promote and like bring in traffic, or offer like another solution if they don't end up wanting to use your specific like credit repair service. It'll offer like that DIY option. Some of us
I need to implement that.
Yeah, and it is pretty popular. Something that like when I was very active in my own credit repair business, I became like my program became like a DIY program, and that's why I have all these products, because a lot of them were touching on everything that I needed for that program. That's kind of how I got started with the digital products. Was I found that in my target audience, in my niche, within credit repair, people wanted DIY.
Yeah.
A lot of them ended up coming back to me for the actual credit repair service because they got overwhelmed or they didn't understand the whole process of everything. So it's still good, like that I offered regular credit repair as well. Like I was not fully just DIY, but it was very popular for them to like do their first couple of rounds of letters themselves. Then they felt like they didn't owe me, that they were going to get through my process faster and like save money. And most of my target audience was financially struggling. And so they couldn't afford my service at first, but then they made some adjustments when they realized that my service really was the solution to their problem. So flyers are good. Social media kits are good, just to kind of get your name out there and to like give you maybe a legitimate, like look online, because like people will look you up and make sure you're like the real deal. So those are good. But as far as like what you want to offer them, like you can nurture them without any of the additional products. But if you start to notice like that your clients do need or want that DIY option, there's a lot of products that'll help with that too.
Okay. And then also, I have Realtor Partners that I allow to come on as a Realtor partner. I have them sign non-compete, assuring them that I'm going to send their client back to them pre-qualified. So I got about 60 of them now, and within the next couple months, I'm looking at like 360. How would you suggest I get those packets to them, those welcome packets, or like social media? I want them to be able to run their credit repair business the same way that I run mine, where they're able to send their clients marketing, like their own marketing material. And this is why I'm like, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Let me hop on this marketing Zoom.
Yeah. So you're working with other credit repair company owners? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm the only credit repair company owner, and my partner is also a realtor. We're across the country.
Okay.
And our broker, well, one of the brokers in, I don't know if it's Mississippi or Tennessee, but they are bringing us on as their go-to credit restoration company, like housing us in their brick and mortar. And so the realtors are then going to come to us, and they would have to do that. We charge an annual fee just so that they are showing responsibility, making sure that they're active. We're bringing them on as a realtor partner for the credit repair company. I don't know how to get marketing material to them so they can also market my company and send their clients at the same time.
Yeah. So for like your welcome packet, you can edit what it says. Like you can edit, like especially prepared for like that company, like that realtor, and then send it to them as a PDF and say, hey, send this out as a blast email to your people that you're sending over to me. You know, and it'll be prepared for maybe that realtor instead of like that individual, but you can like reword it a little bit to say, you know, welcome to my credit repair company. This has been prepared for, you know, or you don't even have to put the prepared for part of it. You can delete that off there. You know, you can just make it a welcome packet for your company and send it out to all your realtor partners in PDF form. That way they can mail it out to those people, or you just wait for the lead to come to you and then you can send it. But you might consider a flyer or something like that if you want to, you know, send a flyer over to them like once a month, put them on an email drip campaign as well with new marketing material that they can then push out to their leads before they're ready to send them to you.
So with the welcome packet, I like that idea. I'm so sorry, I'm gonna get off. Okay. But the welcome packet, I like that idea. Should I have each one of them go to your website to purchase that? Because, or are you saying that for 300 plus agent realtor partners, I can just go in and redo a PDF?
You can just redo the PDF. You just have to buy the welcome packet one time and you can edit it and change it as many times as you want and send it out to those specific partners.
Oh, so I can't send them the link and they just do it themselves. Okay, I have to edit. Ooh, that's some work.
Yeah, you can't, like your clients, like anybody that you share this packet with, like they should never see Canva. Like they should only see your end product. Nobody should ever see Canva when it comes to our products.
Okay, I'm gonna let somebody else ask a question before I keep going. I'm super proud of you though, like what you are doing, where you came from. Like I remember seeing you in the credit repair cloud. Like I saw your growth. Like girl, you are doing your thing.
Thank you. Ashley?
Hey, it's Ashley. I can't put my video on. I haven't brushed my hair today. I've been working hard. I just have a quick question. So I was going through, as you were going through the 7 methods, I was trying to connect myself and see kind of where I fit in or what I'm good at. You know, marketing is something that I heavily struggle with. I feel like I'm a pro at the other stuff. It's like I can and I have a credit repair business. So I feel like I can talk to people. I feel like I can bring people in. I can connect with people, give them the knowledge, do the work, but I struggle with connecting that to the marketing part. I'm one of those people that has bought quite a few things from you, but I don't know how to piece it together to put it out there to where it's marketable, if that makes sense. How do I find that I connect more with the emotional marketing, but this is my problem. And I'll give, this was a perfect example. I posted a post today because this morning I woke up and I was in my feelings. And so I posted a post to be encouraging to, just encouraging to other, I'll say struggling people that have been in abusive relationships. And so I posted a post about my growth, and that one post got over 100 likes, comments, you name it. And I kind of was a little salty on the business end because I'm like, gosh, when I post stuff about business, I don't get this kind of engagement. But when I post about what I've been through and encouraging others, I get the engagement. People are connecting with me. So how can I, in a sense, include my business in that? Because a part of my journey, my business is there, who I am and who I connect with. So how can I kind of connect the two? I want to stick with the emotional marketing part. That's what I want to do, because I feel like that's just kind of my vibe when I connect with people. And just because there's other people on the call too, I literally sent Desiree a message this morning and said, it just hit me. I just now I figured out who my client avatar is, and I've been in business over a year. So I was embarrassed to say that, but I'm not now. But it's like, I want to connect with people who financially, they could probably barely afford my services. They've struggled, they've been through things. That's who I want to market to. So I want to stick to the emotional marketing, but how can I tie the two together? To bring my business in to get that engagement for business purposes.
So something I've learned, because I've been also like sharing my story more, and it's helped open up some conversations and things, but it doesn't necessarily equate to sales for me, because a lot of us have similar stories. So it's more about building community for me than it is for the purchase power of my story. Like, my story doesn't really have purchase power. Like, it's not meant to make you feel bad for me. It's not to like tell you like, you know, a little bit of it's like, okay, I know where you're at.
I get
know where
where you're going with that.
Yeah. So it's not just like, it's not for the purchasing power of telling it. It's like to build community. And so sometimes when we're building the like, no trust, you have to let people in and you have to tell them your story. And it's not to make them feel bad. It's not to make them buy from you. It's not to, because there's plenty of people in my group that have never made a purchase. Like, they'll like my statuses, they'll, you know, interact a little bit here and there, but they've never, and that's okay. Like, I'm not doing this just to get a sale. I'm trying to create a solution to some of our problems, right? Like, some people have this problem and my products solve some problems. Like, they're not going to make you a millionaire overnight. But they will help you look more professional. They'll help you build brand awareness. They'll help you offer another solution to your clients. If you're finding yourself needing a DIY option, they are going to offer you marketing help where nobody else has helped you before. That is my purpose. That's that impact. So when you're looking at like your purpose and your impact, your story does matter, and it does build community. And eventually, you know, when they do have that like, no trust, even if they never buy from you, they might tell their friend about you. Like, hey, I know this girl. They don't actually know you. They've never met you in person. Hey, I know this girl. She can help me. She can help you. I know this lady. She's awesome at credit repair. Mind you, they don't actually know if you're awesome at credit repair because they've never had their credit repaired by you. But now you are the expert. You are the person that they're going to tell everybody about when that conversation comes up, you know?
Right.
So it's more about building community.
With that. Yeah, I just don't ever want to come across, because I feel like with emotional marketing, it's kind of tricky, because for me telling my story this morning, I used to be so guarded and not talk about it. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like talking about it. It wasn't even to bring anyone in regarding business, it was like, okay, there's someone struggling right now. And maybe by me saying, hey, this is what I've been through and how I've overcome, it would help them. But I did find that when I was reading the comments, I'm like, oh gosh, everybody's like feeling sorry for me and, feeling bad. And I'm thinking, I'm over that now, I'm in a better place. But I kind of was like, man, look at the engagement just from the likes and people, and it's like, I would like to have a post that is emotional, but pertaining to my business as well, that I can connect with people on a business end, not necessarily even a sale, but just even connecting with them to give them information or to let them know that, this is what you can do to get to that point.
So Ashley, just because you shared that and you got that kind of engagement, it's going to reset the algorithm and they're going to see your next post. They're going to see when you start talking about your business in your next post, and you probably will see some improvement in your engagement because now you've got their attention and now you're going to be in their newsfeed.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. Okay. I just don't want to come across, even though I want to do the emotional marketing, I don't want to come across as a crybaby either. Like, oh my gosh, every post, this girl is crying about something. Does that make sense? It's like,
just
I want to be
remember that. Yeah. Just remember though, that like emotional marketing can also be about joy and happiness. Like those are some of the emotions that you're going to want to touch on. So with every kind of post that you make about fears or, rejection or sadness, like always follow up with empathy, always. And then also like make sure you balance those out with like happy and joyful celebration posts. Like I shared yesterday, I sold my house, nobody knows anything about that story necessarily, about why that was such a powerful thing and such a good thing, but I got lots of congratulations. Mind you, I've mentioned, my previous bad relationship that I got stuck in and everything, that's that house that I had all those bad things happen to me in, and now like all those congratulations, they have nothing to do with congratulations. I'm so happy that your life is better now. Now it's just about, hey, you just sold a house. Good job. You know what I mean? Because now people are engaged. They're paying attention on my page. Like I'm in their algorithm now because maybe I did reach them with maybe part of the sad story, but now I just reach people with the happy story too. Like the same number of people liked and commented on the good stuff too, so just kind of balance it.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So my story ain't like most people's because I didn't originally start my credit repair because of bad credit, because my credit was actually really good. It was because of other people around me was struggling with their credit. So how can I tell my story without putting other, I don't know how to tell my story and be like, hey, I don't know, really, I don't know how to tell my story because I don't really have a story, to tell about having bad credit or coming up, bad, poor or, homeless or.
Sure.
I
think you can still tell the story of your clients. Like you are working with a lot of clients and you can tell their story without saying their name. You can tell them, the transfer, because here's the thing too, and I've posted it before, but people want to see the transformation. They don't want information. Like they don't want the FCRA in their face. They want to know the transformation from a 480 up to that 720 that got them approved for a mortgage, right? They want to see that transformation, not the information that got them there. So if you tell the story about your clients, like, man, I had this single mom with 3 kids who, was about to get evicted from her 3rd apartment. And she was able to, by the skin of her teeth, a family member helped her out to stay in her house, but now I got those evictions removed from her credit. And now she's moved, purchasing her new home, her kids are happy, whatever, you tell that transformation and you can tell other people's story in your marketing efforts to still evoke that emotional response.
Okay.
Without telling like who that client is, unless they give you permission to like share. Or if they share like on their own page, like if you're following some of your clients and they're like, talking about how like their life is changing, you can always message them and be like, hey, do you mind if I like share your status? Like, I'm really happy for you. I'm really excited for you. And I would just love to like share this transformation. Like, this is incredible, whatever. And then you can like share their status and like kind of talk about, and then they'll get on there and say, thank you so much for helping me with my credit, in the comment of the post you shared, which then that's that social proof.
Okay, so it's okay to tell someone else's story.
Absolutely.
Okay, as long as, okay, thank you. Because I didn't know, because I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a story to tell. And I just don't want to be out there like, and they be like, oh, she's such a liar, that ain't none of that ever happened to her. Or,
right. I think when you hear a testimony, like a client update, right? Like instead of just posting their score, like, oh, client refreshed today, and that's it. Like people are gonna be like, scroll. But you tell the story about what happened that month and where they started and how, your methods are like killer and they're like getting this stuff removed and you're excited and you even go live about it, and you're talking about it and you're just, those kinds of things are going to go into that social proof aspect of it, as well as like that transformation, like that emotional, trigger response there too.
Okay. Thank you, Desiree.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, Desiree, can I just piggyback off that just to give her a little encouragement too?
Sure.
Where my story is not the same as yours, the person that really helped me with my credit had a story like yours. So he was a gentleman who his parents knew everything about credit, had him as authorized user on account. Like he came out the house with good credit. But I will tell you this, he was somebody that was all about his clients. So like Desiree was saying, you telling someone else's story, that's what got me in the door with him, because it was like the love that he had and his dedication to the people that couldn't help themselves. That's what got me in there. So definitely that is something I think is going to really, really like be good for you. So you don't have to have the bad story, but even telling someone else's story and your dedication to them, I think sells itself.
Okay. Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
So anybody else want to chime in and talk about like their marketing efforts and like what method they use most effectively and what that looks like for them?
I want to talk more about it, but I'm so confused.
That is quite all right. You just hang in there and absorb it all. You're good.
Girl, I'm trying. I'm completely overwhelmed, but I do know now where I am going to start, which is the welcome packets. And I can't use, what is it called? Canva. So my partner does that part, and nailing him down to get that part done has been difficult. So we have like maybe 3 Realtor partners that have that are using the packet. But I was sending them the link and it was like, okay, well, you can't use the link anymore. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to buy all of these links for these people or whatever, but I want to start there. And then can you elaborate more on the email campaign? Is that also considered automation?
Yes. And that was part of this marketing webinar where we talk about like engaging headlines. So you can use like engaging headlines on your campaigns, because like I say all the time on these lives, like Ulta gets me every single stinking time with their email campaigns. Like I always open Ulta emails. Like, yes, I love makeup, but also because their headline be like, hey girl, hey, sale inside. And I'm like, hey girl, I'm there. Click, click. Like that is me every time. Like I can't help it. And I know they're going to put a $3.50 coupon at the end of that thing. So when I go to the store, I'm going to go get my little $3.50 off. Not any of the dang premium brands I'm buying, but I'm going to get it off my mascara, and I know that every time they're going to have some kind of 20% off coupon or a $3.50 off coupon, and I'm going to open that email. The emails don't work if people aren't opening them.
Right.
Emails don't work if the content inside them is crap. So once you get them to open it, now you want the content to be good so they don't hit unsubscribe and get you out of their box. Right. So that is something I did not do a very good job of when I first started my company. And right now I don't really have email automations because I do they're like, thank you for your purchase or thanks for being a loyal member, but those are just like standard from the ECWID. Like I haven't done anything crazy. I'm working on it for, my membership offer or like the subscription offer. But right now, email marketing is hard. And I don't offer any type of email marketing, anything. I don't do automations. I'm terrible at them. Like that is a weak point for me myself, but
too.
I will tell you the value in good automations and good email campaigns is very important. And it is a big part of the success of people here. So.
Okay.
That's what I'm working on today. Actually, I'm studying for, I don't know if I ever told you, I'm studying for the enrolled agent exam. So I'm doing 2-hour blocks, and then I'm setting up my active campaign, which I'm almost done with that. So that's kind of what I'm working on. But just to go back to the marketing thing, I want to, and I do it when I talk to people face to face, but I don't put stories on my Facebook because one time before selling credit, I shared my story in a few family members. Like, that's not nice. Take that down. And so initially, I was like, okay, I took it down. But as I keep thinking about my business, this is my story. You know what I mean? Like, so what? You were crappy. I didn't put your name there. You feel guilty because you know it's about you. But that's not my intent. My intent is because there's somebody out there that's just like me who don't know somebody else went through the same thing. And so I'm like, this year for some of my family has been rough. So initially I was going to actually put that up yesterday, but I said, no, I'm going to give them some time, right? I'm going to give them some healing time because I know the response that they're going to get from me is going to be, I love you, but we don't have to be Facebook friends. We can continue to be friends in real life because this is something I'm trying to build for me and my family. And I'm not going to lie to people because it makes you uncomfortable. So in person, I do the emotional because it seems like, to be honest, like even something as simple as the hair store, right? I know the hair stores that I go to here, it's all young girls all the time, right? And so one young girl, I was helping her out and I was doing it for free. And her story made me cry in the store, right? And so I told her some of the things I've been through. I was like, it's okay. We're going to get you together. We're going to get you on track. Well, she told somebody else in another hair store, right? And so it kind of dominoed. But I do know that I have an emotional pull for young people. Like, I haven't charged any of these girls because they're all like, I think the oldest one is 23 and they're going through some stuff. But it's like, okay, now yesterday I got a call from one of the aunts and she wanted me to do hers. And I'm like, how do I transition from doing theirs for free because I feel for them to everybody else, y'all have to pay. Now the aunt is like, hey, Money said you're doing her credit for free. And I'm like, yeah, I am, I'm helping her out. But at the end of the day, I feel like because I'm helping a couple, and I'm not saying that their story is not true. I know the first girl, because when I met her, she was actually behind the counter already crying. So I just feel like I'm not sure where they're pulling my heartstrings, and it may not be true. And there's a domino effect. And so I don't know where to end it because it's affected my compensation and my bottom line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand that like most people who have bad credit have a sob story. Like that's how we got to this point, right? Like I had a sob story, like that's why my credit was bad, I went through a hard time. My credit was bad, so that's just going to be something, definitely think about those boundaries. Boundaries are really, really important in business. And just maybe say, I offer, 5 people a year, or 5 people a quarter this service. And I'm so sorry, but I've taken on that limit for now. But I'm happy to offer you a $10 a month off discount, just because, my friend, like your friend is referred you,
Okay.
and just kind of that way you're still capturing the amount that you need for the work you're doing. And making a profit of some kind at some point, but also, empathize, like, oh, I know, you're going through a hard time too. I completely understand, even though I only accept a certain number of credit repair clients for free, I can offer you this just like a small discount. And if you're pricing your offer maybe just a little bit high, that discount won't feel so bad for you, and it'll definitely feel good for them. So if like you need to make $99 a month, but you price it at $129 and you say, you know what, I was about to run a promotion for $99 a month, I can offer that to you this time,
Got it. Okay. Yeah, because it gets hard, and I'm like, yesterday I was actually in here like, can I start a nonprofit or something, like, especially young kids? And I think it's because my kids are 22 and 25. So it's like that range. Oh yeah, I can help. And then like the first girl, now she called me mom. So when she calls and she calls my personal phone, Mom, can I do this? Or Mom, can I do that? And I'm like, okay, like, but yeah, it gets hard. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely
And
take that route.
if you do offer like free service going forward, just kind of maybe consider it being like 3 months free, and then anytime after that at a discount, maybe something along those lines. So if you do find somebody that, pulls at your heartstrings and you want to give them a hand up, it's not just a hand out, it's a hand up. And you're going to help them, get there, but they need to also, not take advantage.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
It's a lot of women on here who are business owners, and we are, just to remind you guys, we are natural nurturers, and we have that giving heart. And I found myself doing the same thing in a different business, and I went bankrupt. So if you do not find something where you can get some grant money, because your heartstrings are there, let me tell you what I do just for those people. And I have it set up where I can go to it, and it says pro bono. And I have them sign up for $49 down. Everybody can find $49 to get their credit done. Don't tell anybody about this program that you have for people that can't afford it. But $49 to get started. And then right after that, the next month, they just pay another $49. I feel like I'm helping doing it that way, because I charge $129 to get started, and then thereafter $129 a month. But when you're helping people that already have bad credit, they got these things that they have proven that they are not going to pay their bills. And just because you come along and offer them your services for free, your time, does not mean that they're going to start doing it because you're doing it for free. So I would suggest you do the same thing. When your heartstrings start pulling at that, go to that pro bono and charge them $49. That's all I got for you, ma'am.
Okay. And it helps. It helps because when I tell you, it's like, seeing them young kids, and I'm like, and I think it's also because my parents died by the time I was 12. So 10 and 12. And so, by the grace of God, still here for my kids, right? And so, and I know where I was then. And don't tell me if your mom or your daddy did, oh my goodness. It's like, I'm gonna give you everything, So I'm working on it. I even saw, I talked to my pastor one time about it, and he was like, no, you got to teach them how to fish. You can't keep giving and giving and expecting them to be where you need them to be. That's not your children. You're not raising them from the beginning. You're not raising them at all.
They have to have some type of commitment, and that will make them accountable for going through your program.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ashley?
I just wanted to let you know that she was right. Naturally we are nurturers, and we want to help and we want to give back. And when someone tells us their story, it can relate, and we're like, man, we know what it was like to be there, and we wish we had a me there. You wish you had yourself. But I will say that I think that it starts, and please don't take this the wrong way, because everything comes out of my mouth is meant with love. I think that you have to really visit yourself personally. And the reason I say that from experience, not from the business end. When I first started my business, I ended up with 45 clients. And that sounds really good to some people. I had 45 clients in 2 months. I was just growing and doing it. One of them was paying, one. And so for 44 clients, I was providing free service. I was taking now I'm going to be real transparent. I was taking my money from my home, what I was making at a 9 to 5, and I was paying software, and I was paying for postage, and I was doing all this stuff. And I started to find out I was helping these people, and guess what? They weren't even giving me a review. I'm helping them get where they need to be, and they're going off and buying cars and now, not all of them were nasty or rude, but I found myself in a position that I was not using discernment, and I was just helping because they had a story. But respectfully, I say this, you said your parents died young. You got a story too. We all have a story. We all have, something that has, changed our lives and altered us. But if you, in running a business, don't let people run over you. Don't run your business and let people run over you. And I'm not saying that these young people are taking advantage. I'm sure they are grateful to have someone like you, but setting those boundaries, you'll start to realize, like, it's almost like a light bulb goes off when you literally tell people, I cannot do that this month, or, hey, I don't have any slots available for my free clients. You'll start seeing the respect level changes. And sometimes even that conversation changes with them. Now when people, they come to me and they ask, for free services, and I'll even say, hey, now, like how Desiree was saying, I usually do 4 clients in every quarter. That's my number, for whatever reason, is 4. And if I don't have any slots left, usually if I tell them that they can't get it done for free, the conversation changes and they say, well, hey, look, I can't do the 129 a month, but this is what I can do. And depending on your heart, you may be able to work with that. But put yourself first. And I'm saying this from experience. Put yourself first if you're earlier in the game, so that you're not finding yourself with 40 something clients that could have been potentially paying all your bills, whatever the case may be. And you're 40 something clients in deep. And now you don't know how to tell all these free people, that you got to start charging them. Another thing too, how I kind of transitioned from my free, I gave them a heads up. I started kind of warming up. Hey, listen, come the month of such and such, I'm going to be charging a low price. This is what it is. And I personally literally transitioned the majority of my I'll say free clients, transition them over to paid clients. I just kind of had to baby walk them, rub their back, started telling them, well, hey, you're saving money on this. Now we're going to move into, I'm going to start charging you for this much time. And so you got to you don't just cut them off and say, hey, look, I can't do it. But just, you got to kind of rub their back, and you kind of teach them, at the same time. So you can transition them over, especially if you're in the position of that mama nurturing. Start teaching them, because if this was your child, you would be teaching them responsibility. So start teaching them now to transition over into eventually being paid, paying you in a sense, but show your value as well. You're worth more than a free service. You're worth so much more. So give yourself that credit. And also too, I'll say this not being funny, but girl, your light bill is still due at the end of the month and you got to pay it. So when you're thinking about providing a free service, think about giving over light bill money, the car note money, the insurance, or self-care. That's what it is. So you can do it out of love, but start to rub their back and transition them over. They'll come with you because they care for you. They really do. And you're providing more of an experience, that love and that nurture. They're coming with you. They are, but you're just going to have to baby walk them a little bit.
Yeah, and actually you're right, because I actually was already there with a lot of them. What reduced me was the fact that they wasn't doing what they supposed to do, because some was free, right? So just with not doing what you were supposed to do, 15 was gone like in a matter of 60 days. And so I definitely agree with everything you said. So yeah, no more free clients unless it's something I'm doing like per quarter or something like that for a limited number of people. But yes, I was up there with a lot of free clients because it was like, oh, I can't charge this person, I can't charge that person. But yeah, no, I'm learning. And like I said, it's definitely something I'm working on. It was even something I started working on beforehand because I would freely give too much of my own money for the same reasons. And I thought that the business would help me to not do that, but I didn't do the work on myself first. So I definitely agree with everything you said.
Thank you all
Yeah,
so
and
much.
it comes with time too. It does. It comes with time because you feel bad when you tell someone you can't. But I think personally, you got to just really dig deep into that that discernment so that you kind of know who you can and can't help. So it'll come together. It will.
All right, ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and redirect us a little bit. We got about 10 minutes left. So I just want to make sure that any marketing specific questions are being answered from the little webinar from our time together. And if anybody needs some clarity on any of these methods.
Hey, so would you mind sending us the recording once it's done so that
Yeah,
we can go
I
over?
always repost them to YouTube, so you guys will be able to reference back to it, watch it again, share it with other group members, let them know, we had a really good discussion here today, especially after the webinar. That was really, really good. Lots of good information. Brandy said in the chat, Ebony says, free is disrespectful to you, your family, and everything else around you. It was a really good message for sure. Oh, no worries, Ashley, you're good. That's part of this marketing though, you start pulling on those heartstrings and you get sucked in. So it was a good discussion for sure. Something that, just to kind of reiterate, when you find one way of marketing that is working, try to stick with it a little bit more, because you're going to notice like your audience is being drawn in by a specific messaging. So just like we talk about client avatar and target audience, now we're going to talk about and we talked about magnetic messaging on our last Zoom call, that magnetic messaging. Now that we kind of know those different methods of the messaging, that's what we need to kind of hone in on and make sure that we are connecting those dots. So each Zoom call kind of connects with one another. I don't know if you guys have kind of noticed, there's a little bit of a method to my madness. And I'm trying to baby step it because I know we're all very busy and we're giving lots of information. There's lots of products to use, like how do we use them? What do we do? And it's not even just about the products. It's about like how you're going to reach those customers once you get them. So if you don't know who you're talking to, you don't know what their problems are, you don't know how they're going to respond to whatever type of messaging you're doing, the products aren't going to do jack diddly for you, and I don't want you guys to buy something that you're not able to use. So that's why we talk about marketing on our live calls. That's why we get into like kind of the meat and potatoes of making these products work for you and making your business successful, and giving you some options in that. So do you think that the series of webinars, and especially this one today, is that going to change some things for y'all?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I need to go over it all again to pinpoint where the change is going to come in. But just this platform for credit repair owners that you have created has made me more comfortable. Like, I'm an experienced realtor and I'm not the one to like get involved on Zoom calls with other realtors and all the stuff, the shit we should be doing. But this makes me comfortable. You gave me a space where I can be myself and learn. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'll be a part of whatever you got going on.
Well, and that's exactly how we need to do it for our clients too. We need to give them that space where they can be completely themselves and feel comfortable and show up and get the knowledge, get the information. So, if you guys can emulate any piece or part of my methods, use that in your business,
Yeah.
it does work. Growing this community as quickly as I have, I wasn't expecting it. It wasn't like methodical at all. I'm just showing up and being myself every day, so don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to become somebody you're not, like find your people, like find the people you connect with and show them your value. You guys have so much good information and you have a way out, like you have a solution to their problem, you know, find that way to connect, you know, and it'll work. You know, people are, something I've learned, and just, it's not, you know, science-based or anything like that, but like people want community, and we, because of social media especially, we really fell away from that community aspect. You know, we used to live in a community style nature, you know, where it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to run a business. Like that is my, like, this is my home. Like I need y'all to be my best business owner self, you know, and these people need you to be their best selves, you know, for their family and for their credit. And we crave that community with one another. We are meant to live in community. And so if you can create your own little community for your people, you know, a Facebook group or a messaging platform or something like that, where you can like connect with your people, they're going to be responsive and they will come. So yeah, that's like my most, like my biggest takeaway from the marketing. Like at first I didn't really have any direction. And now like I know that my messaging is about community. It is about bringing people together for the greater good. It is about, if I help you, then you help your people. And that's who I'm trying to reach, is your people. I'm not even trying to reach you. I mean, yes, I need to reach you to reach your people, but I'm still trying to help people fix their credit at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And if I don't connect with you, you are not going to connect my product to that client, you know? And so you have to find that way to connect with them. And that's what this methods, like these 7 methods, that's like a great way to try to connect with those people so that they will like, know, and trust you, buy into your service, get their credit fixed, while also providing an income for yourself. Mm-hmm. It's like a full circle thing, you know? And the more they like, know, and trust you, the more they're going to put your name out there when somebody's looking for a service like yours. We have the power to change lives. We really do. Janae, she said she missed the beginning. I'm going to post the replay, so just make sure you catch all of it. There's like 7 different marketing methods and sales psychology that we talked about, so you'll want to catch that replay. Good. Lots of good information is what I'm hearing. Okay, good. Well, kind of reflect on that. It's been a little while since I've posted like a marketing challenge within the group. So we are going to, I'm going to come up with something along these lines with the marketing methods. And if you guys want to participate and be held accountable, I love doing like little challenges throughout the week just to kind of keep you focused. Keep you like in the solution, to remember that, you know, you are the solution, and, you know, give you that confidence to put yourself out there. You know, if you have people on your friends list that are going to like slight you, give you a hard time, leave comments, you know, that are not happy, productive, and Facebook is your main marketing tool, get them off your list. Like get them away, out of your space and away from you, because you have people that you need to connect with. And you know, it's a free app. Like we can do so much for free on Facebook or Instagram or wherever. So just keep that in mind. You know, not everybody is going to be able to come along on this journey with you, you know. So, oh yeah, you're welcome. She says, thank you, Desiree, for today's lessons. Thank you, ladies, for being so transparent and dropping gems. You can post on Facebook to all except, add them to the accept list. There you go, Ebony. That's a good idea. I definitely do that sometimes. Like when I posted about how I got invited to consult with a marketing company, I didn't, I blocked him from seeing the status because I was really excited. I want to celebrate, but I don't want him being like, this girl has no idea what she's doing. Because I'm so brand new, even though I do know what I'm doing. I just didn't know I knew, you know, I didn't know that I had all this in me that I could help with, like help provide this service for other people. I didn't know that it was already in me. So even though I didn't know, I did, so yeah, I'm really, really grateful for our community and our little space. So if anybody else has any other questions, we'll wrap it up. Okay, so I'll post the marketing challenge probably tomorrow. Get some juices flowing to see, what y'all need to do to connect with your audience. Keep on building your audience. That's really important. I got rid of like 1,000 people a couple weeks ago, and I'm already back up 1,000 people just from networking and, going through the people you may know and seeing, if we have mutual friends. They're probably in the credit repair space at this point because most of my list is in the credit repair space. So, maybe add a few mutual friends this week and post in some groups that you're a part of, home buyers groups and mom groups and whatever. Get some interest flowing. I've seen somebody post in one of the big groups. It's called CEO Society. It's like a huge group. And they posted for informational reasons only, I did XYZ this week or something, and it was about a credit score, something. And obviously it's going to draw attention. It's not her advertising her services, but she was like, say congratulations to my client. I'm really excited. I just needed somewhere to say it because she doesn't want to be known or something like that. It's kind of a neat little ploy to like get some interest with people going, oh, what's this about your credit repair company? And like, obviously she couldn't post her link or anything, but I guarantee she probably got some messages, you know what I mean? So get involved in those groups, congratulate other people when they're doing their thing and getting sales, like connect with people, build that community, add people to your friends list, delete people from your friends list who are not supportive, not, your target audience, target market, and, get out there and change some lives this week. All right, I will talk to y'all really soon back in the group, and if y'all need anything, just holler. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.